Now remember, the quality of your wake up is highly dependent on how you sleep, the quality of your sleep. So first of all, let's talk about how to have a better sleep. Our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught us that if you can practice the love and the kindness throughout your life, in your heart, practically, you will sleep better. Right? So it says that it is so important to maintain a kind and a calm and a peaceful heart to have a better sleep. So your sleep is highly affected by several things. It depends on what you do during the day, and it depends on how you approach the bed, your sleeping posture, and also it depends on what you do after you wake up. So we are going to talk about these things. So let's talk about how the things happen during the day affects our sleep. Now, if you spend most of the time in the day by being angry with people, by being jealous of others, by fighting with others and being sad and frustrated, then your mentality is not in a good condition. And then when you go to the bed, you will never have a peaceful sleep because your mind and your body is not ready for that, and it hasn't become peaceful. So it is so important to maintain a peaceful and a calm mind during the day, right? Of course, we cannot control the situations that we face during the day. We cannot control people complaining us, criticizing us, bullying us. We cannot control these things, but we can control our response to them, right? So we, by our own self, make the choice to be angry, to be jealous, to be frustrated, to blame. So what you have to do, you need to maintain and you need to try as much as possible to be kind and to be friendly with people, right? And to help others, to do the good things, which makes you happy within. So if you can maintain a peaceful heart and peaceful mind during the day, even in the middle of the adversities and the problems, then no one can control and no one can destroy your peacefulness. So when you approach the bed and when you go to the sleep, you're going with a kind and a peaceful heart. So your sleep quality will be increased. And also the sleep is highly dependent on how you approach the bed, right? So in brief, I must say, approach the bed with a clean body and a clean mind, right? So how we approach the bed with a clean body? Refresh your body before you are going to sleep. Don't go to sleep with dust-filled bodies and sweat-filled bodies, right? You can have a little bit of a shower. If it was a cold shower, it is much better. But if you cannot have a cold shower, if you are not in a condition of having a cold shower, then have a lukewarm shower, right? Then you go to the bed. And when you go to the bed, it is much more important to clean your mind. So how to do that? And that's where the meditation comes in, right? You can bring in a meditation before you sleep. So it is so easy to practice a session or 5-minute session of loving kindness meditation, right? You can spread the love and kindness towards yourself first, and you can spread the same love and kindness to your family members, to your neighbors, to your people around your village, maybe the people in your town, and you can spread the love and kindness to the whole world. when you spread the thoughts and when you generate these thoughts within your mind gets so peaceful and it will become so serene. So bring in a loving kindness meditation before you sleep, right? And then you can go to the sleep with a clean body and a clean mind. And also, the quality of your sleep is highly dependent on your sleeping posture, right? Most of the people, they sleep on their stomach. They sleep facing down. But that is not a good posture to sleep. Our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, slept and he had his sleep on the right side, to the right side. You can sleep to the right side, and that posture is called Singhasaya, the lion's posture, which was used by our great teacher Supreme Buddha throughout his whole life. So if you can try that posture, that is one of the best postures to sleep. And also you can sleep to the left side, right? So these postures will increase your quality of the sleep, right? So these things affects your sleep in many ways, and it makes a huge impact. And then let's talk about what we should do after we wake up. Now, I need to share with you some tips which you can practice soon after you wake up, right? So first of all, do not do this. Do not hit the snooze button. Now, many of you hit the snooze button and you go back to the sleep. Remember, when you hit the snooze button and when you go to the sleep again, that sleep is not a perfect sleep, right? And that is why you're feeling tired after you wake up. So what you have to do, don't hit the snooze button. Wake up and get down from the bed soon after you wake up, right? So you can keep your alarm clock, maybe your mobile phone, you can set the alarm and you can keep that thing across your room in a distance where you should walk to the alarm clock and stop it. So it will help you to get down from the bed. So that is one tip. And the next one is drink some water soon after you wake up. You can keep a glass of water near your alarm clock. Then you can stop the alarm and have a drink of water, right? And then it's better to have a little bit of a shower in the morning. If it is a cold shower, it is much better. But if you cannot have a cold shower, then go for a lukewarm shower and you will feel so refreshed in the morning. And after that, do some exercises, have some stretches on your body, then you're good to go, right? So these things, if you can do these things soon after you wake up, it will keep up the refreshness that you feel in the morning throughout the day. So that is how we have a peaceful wake up early in the morning and feel refreshed. So I hope you enjoy this video. And I wish you all, may all of you be well and happy, and may all of you live long, and may all of you realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Namo Buddhaya Theruvan Saranai. So first of all, don't be afraid of procrastination. Why? Because it's a normal human nature. You know, average human is a good procrastinator, right? Average human is lazy. We all have that feeling of procrastination and we all have that laziness within us. But if you need to rise above the average, if you need to be someone special in this society, you have to stop these bad habits, right? So first of all, don't be afraid of the procrastination. We can stop that. Remember, the procrastination or the postponing, this mental laziness within yourself is a habit, right? So habits are all in your head. It's not in your body, it's not in your environment, it's all in your head. So you can control it and you can stop it, right? So, first of all, let's talk about what is procrastination. The procrastination is that mental barrier or the mental resistance that keeps you away from doing the things what should be done, right? So for an example, when you wake up in the morning and if you have to study in the morning, do you feel like getting down from the bed and start studying? When you are in that situation, you find that mental stress and mental barrier inside you. Your mind says, no, just stay on the bed for 5 minutes. It's okay. I have time. I can do it later. That is what mind says all the time. But the same mind that told us to procrastinate will complain when the things getting worse. When the exams are near, when the deadline is near, if you haven't done anything, your same mind that directed you to procrastinate will complain for you. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do the things according to the timetable? You are a procrastinator. That is what mind says, right? So we should not let our mind to trick us. So how to stop procrastinating? Well, there's a nice Dhammapada verse that was praised by our Supreme Buddha. In that Dhammapada verse, we find lots of things that will help us to stop this bad habit. Supreme Buddha says, Uttanavato satimato suchikammassa nisammakarino. If a person is energetic, Uttanavato, satimato, if he is mindful, suchikammassa nisammakarino, if he does the good thing and the right thing from his body and mind and from his speech, sanyatassacha dhammajivino, if he can control his sensual desires, sensual cravings, appamattassa yasobhivaddati, that diligent man's fame and wealth will be developed. So in that Dhammapada verse, we find everything what we need to stop procrastination. So what are these things? Supreme Buddha said, Uttanavato, be energetic, take action. Well, there's only one way to stop procrastination, and that is to take action. But that is a tough hurdle to jump, right? To be energetic, to take action, and to do the works, it's a tough thing to do. So what we should practice to jump this tough hurdle, we should practice. First of all, we should practice the mindfulness. That is why Supreme Buddha said, Uttanavato satimato. You should be mindful about yourself. You should be aware of yourself constantly. So for what we should be aware, we should be aware towards our mind, right? Now, before I told you, the procrastination is a mental condition, right? It is all in your head. It's a thought, it's an emotion. So you should be mindful and you should be aware of your thoughts, right? You should have that ability. When you become more aware of your thoughts, you can have that ability to detect what is coming inside to your mind. When the laziness comes in, when the lazy thoughts come in, you know, oh, there's a lazy thought. And now I need to take action, right? When the anger comes in, you can detect it. Now there's anger now. My mind is angry now. When you become more aware, then you get the opportunity to control it. When you become more aware of your thoughts, you will have that ability to control that thought. So first thing is to be aware, to be mindful, right? So that is why Supreme Buddha said, Uttanavato satimato, suchikammassa nisammakarino. Do what is right, right? So when you're studying, if your mobile phone is next to you, right, After some time, you get that mobile phone and you scroll through social media. You scroll through the phone. So in that time, if you can ask from yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the good thing? Am I doing the thing that should be done? Then your mind answers, this is not what should I do. I should study, get back to study. Right? That is why Supreme Buddha said, always do what is right and do what should be done first. Right? After that, in the spare time, in the leisure time, you can have that experience. You can have that. You can enjoy yourself. Right? That is why Supreme Buddha said, "Suchikamasa nisammakarino, sanyatasacha dhamma jivino." You need to have that ability to control your sensual desires. Right? Now, your mind likes to log on to social media. And your mind likes to be lazy and to stay without doing anything. Right? So that is why your mind always tries to procrastinate. So Supreme Buddha said, to be a special person, to have the successfulness into your life, you need to give up the sensual desires for some extent. Right? So it is very nice and it's very comfortable feeling that you feel in the morning on the bed, right? It is nice and warm. But if you have to study, you have to give up that pleasurable feeling and you have to get back to studies. So that is why you need to have that mental power and mental ability to stop or to give up the sensual desires for some extent and do the work. Because if you do the easy thing, right? If you continue to do the easy thing always, remember, tomorrow will be hard. Your future will be hard. So if you need to be happy in the future, you have to undergo what is hard today. So that is why Supreme Buddha said, you need to control the sensual desires. If you can do these things, Supreme Buddha said, appamatasaya sobhivadati, that diligent man's fame and wealth will be developed. So these are the things which helps us to stay away from procrastination. So I need to share with you some more tips and more things to help you to stop this bad habit. Remember, the procrastination is a habit and it is a way of relieving the stress, right? So for an example, if your exams are near, right? If you have a lot to study, normally what you do you study or you procrastinate? You procrastinate because your mind needs to relieve that stress in some way. So your mind chooses the easiest way to procrastinate. So always remember, it is a habit and that habit can be broken. So how to break your habit? There is only one way: to take action, right? Do the opposite thing. In the case of procrastination, you have to take action, right? So that is what you should be done. And also there's another thing. When you make the timetables, when you make the to-do lists, always make the to-do lists and the timetables that you can afford. For an example, many of us make the timetables like this. I'm going to study for 1.5 hours. I'm going to study for 3 hours. But your mind is not ready for that. So what you have to do, you have to make achievable and realistic goals and timetables. Let's say like this. If you have to study for 5 minutes, would you be happy? Only for 5 minutes. Your mind also happy and your mind tends to do that, right? So what you have to do, just if you cannot study for maybe 20 minutes, just make a timetable or a to-do list to study for 5 minutes, Tell your mind that I have to study only for 5 minutes. Just that, it's all. Right? Then you have that motivation, and then you have that power to get up from the bed and get up from the place where you are and start studying. So what you have to do, set the achievable goals in your timetables, right? You can start from 5 minutes, or if you cannot start from 5 minutes, just start from 1 minute. It's okay. If you cannot start from 5 minutes, just start from 1 minute. Who cares? It's okay. The reason that we have to set these achievable goals is because when we set these small goals, right, small tasks, in reality, we do more than that, right? Everyone can study more than 5 minutes. Everyone can study more than 1 minute. So in reality, you do more than that, right? And by the time, little by little, you can increase the amount of time that you are studying, right? So that is much better than postponing the works. That is much better than doing nothing. So always set the achievable tasks. And there's another one. Ask one of your friends or one of your parents to review what you have done at the end of the day. Then you will have that motivation, or you will have that power inside to do more and more, to impress your friends, maybe to impress your parents, right? Ask one of your friends or parents to review and check what you have done. And also, this is the main thing that you have to do. You need to change your mindset. Don't label yourself as a procrastinator. Remember, you're not a procrastinator, but you only have a habit of procrastinating. So you can break it. The more you label yourself as a procrastinator, the more you will procrastinate. So what you have to do, change your mindset and think that this can be broken, this bad habit can be broken, and I have that power inside me to do work and to be successful. Okay? So these are the things that we can do to stop procrastination. And always remember, finally, always remember this, right? When you're procrastinating, when you're postponing, you're not only postponing and procrastinating your work, but you also procrastinate your happiness. So don't let your procrastination to destroy your happiness. So stop procrastination by practicing these tips and have a happy life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Buddhist meditation series. Now in today's video, we're going to be discussing about a special quality that we all need to practice and develop as a meditator. Now this quality is one of the most fundamental qualities that a meditator should possess. And that quality is the patience. Supreme Buddha said, Kanti paramang tapotitikha. Patience is the highest virtue. Now, the nature of our mind is, the nature of undisciplined mind is, it is impatient, right? It needs everything instantly. Isn't that true? Now, we all get used to this instantness. We are living in a world that everything comes to our hand instantly. For an example, you have your mobile phone on your hand, on your palm. If you need to look up for something, you just type it and instantly it will pop up, right? So many things like technology, they are becoming instant day by day, right? And also there are so many things which comes instantly. We have instant noodles, we have instant rice, you have instant articles. So we have got used to this instant world. The more we get used to this instantness, we are losing our patience. We are losing our ability to just wait. Now, for an example, if you take your mobile phone and if you log on to the internet, if the connection is bad, if the connection is low, what is your response? You become panicked. You become impatient. You become frustrated. Why? Because you have get used to that. You have trapped in that illusion. So that is the problem in our mind. So when you get used to this instant world, you need everything in life to be instant. That is the problem. But in life, in the spiritual world, in the spiritual life, and most of the life things inside this is slow. We have to be patient. We have to stay until it happens. For an example, can you force yourself to sleep? You cannot do that, right? You go to bed, but you cannot force yourself to sleep. You should wait until you fall asleep. All right? For another example, when you're doing meditation, you cannot force your mind to be relaxed. When you force your mind, it will become more distracted. So, one of the most important and valuable, so crucial quality that we should possess as meditators is the patience, right? So you need to learn the art of just being without any expectations, without being panicked, without expecting quick results. Just put yourself in the way, in the progress, in the process, right? Now, a lot of us sit for the meditation expecting on the first day, my mind will be so peaceful, so serene, and so tranquilized. It will not happen instantly. It is a life process, right? So it is very slow. It is meandering. So you have to just wait, right? So I need to share a special thing that you should do before doing any kind of meditation, right? So most of the time you sit for the meditation and you close your eyes. Sometimes you sit cross-legged, sometimes you sit on a chair, and some people may do walking meditation. Whatever the meditation is, first of all, if you are closing your eyes, right? Or if you are opening your eyes, it doesn't matter. Just let yourself to be in that posture or in that way for a little time, right? Don't just directly jump to the meditation. Just sit, close your eyes, and just wait and observe what is happening inside, right? Don't rush your mind. Because if we force our mind, sometimes our mind is not ready to do meditation, right? When we use our mind, when it is not ready to do the meditation, when you use that mind to do the meditation, when we force that, it will not work properly. So best thing to do is when you sit down to the meditation, just close your eyes and just be for a while. Just be relaxed, right? Just let all the tiredness, fatigue, and exhaustedness to just flow away. Take a deep breath and exhale out and just be, right? First of all, you need to have that quality. So that is one part of patience, right? Not being panicked, not being so fast. You need to slow down, right? When you're doing meditation. First of all, let yourself to be relaxed. Now, when you first in the beginning, when you become relaxed, your mind is getting ready, and it is knowing that now this person is going to meditate. It's like warm-up exercise, right? When you hit the gym, first of all, you don't go just and do the cardios, right? You just warm up, and you just give the idea and give the news to your body that now this body is going to work out. Same goes with the meditation. First of all, sit, relax. Just don't do the meditation directly. You can do that when you become pro at meditation, but as a beginner, we all need to practice this, to be patient, to stay. You need to learn the art of being, right? Not art of going. That is why we are called human beings, right? If you are a human being, then you should know how to be, right? So practice to be patient. Practice to be relaxed before doing meditation. If you practice this, you will gain good results through the meditations. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai.